1. Hook. Most startups lose money on AWS without even realizing it. Stick around to learn the 5 common cost optimization mistakes and how to avoid them. 2. The real problem: cloud costs can spiral out of control quickly. Understanding how to manage and optimize these costs is crucial for your budget and your business's sustainability. 3. The simple explanation: AWS pricing might seem straightforward, but it's anything but. Services are built on usage, which means costs can vary widely. There are multiple factors to consider, including instance types, storage, data transfer, and even API requests. To optimize costs, you need to focus on right-sizing your resources, utilizing reserved instances, monitoring usage regularly, implementing automation, taking advantage of AWS pricing tools. 4. Real-world example: let's say you're running a startup called Appify, which offers a mobile app for task management. In the first few months, you used EC2 instances to handle your backend. Initially, you chose T2.medium instances, thinking the cost of about $0.0464 per hour was reasonable. However, as traffic increased, you spun up more instances without monitoring their usage. By the end of the quarter, your AWS bill jumped to $3,000. You had no idea that you were running 5 extra T2.medium instances that were idling most of the time. You could have saved roughly $1,200 by switching to a smaller instance type or using a combination of on-demand and reserved instances. 5. What to do instead: here's a step-by-step framework to help you optimize your AWS costs. Step 1. Evaluate resource usage. Use AWS Cost Explorer to analyze your spending. Look for idle resources. If an instance is below 10% CPU utilization for a week, consider terminating or downsizing it. Step 2. Right-size your instances. Use the AWS Compute Optimizer tool to get recommendations. If you have instances over-provisioned, downgrade them. For example, switch from a T3.large to a T3.medium to save around 30%. Step 3. Consider reserved instances. For predictable workloads, commit to reserved instances. A T3.medium reserved instance can save up to 40% compared to on-demand pricing. Step 4. Implement automation. Use AWS Lambda and CloudWatch to automate starting and stopping instances. For example, stop non-essential instances during off hours to save costs. Step 5. Regular monitoring and alerts. Set up billing alerts in AWS budgets. Create a threshold, like sending alerts when costs exceed $500 in a month. 6. Common mistakes. Let's dive into 5 common mistakes and how to avoid them. Mistake 1. Not monitoring usage. Many startups don't track their usage. Solution: regularly check AWS Cost Explorer and set up alerts. Monthly reviews can uncover unnecessary expenses. Mistake 2. Over-provisioning resources. Choosing larger instance types without assessing needs leads to wasted money. Solution: always start small. Use auto-scaling to adjust resources based on real-time demand. Mistake 3. Ignoring data transfer costs. Data transfer can add up, especially between services. Solution: use Amazon CloudFront to cache content and reduce data transfer fees. Evaluate if public IPs are necessary. Mistake 4. Not utilizing AWS savings plans. Some don't realize they can commit to usage for better rates. Solution: analyze your steady usage and commit to a savings plan that fits your needs. Mistake 5. Forgetting about unused resources. Leaving old volumes or snapshots can lead to unnecessary costs. Solution: regularly audit your resources. Use tools like AWS Trusted Advisor to identify unused resources. 7. Quick checklist. Check AWS Cost Explorer regularly. Set alerts for spending thresholds. Analyze CPU utilization of all instances. Assess reserved instances versus on-demand. Automate start/stop of non-essential resources. Review data transfer regularly. Check for unused or idle resources. 8. Summary plus CTA. AWS can be cost-effective, but only if you manage it well. Start by monitoring your usage, right-sizing your resources, and implementing automation where possible. Avoid common mistakes like over-provisioning, ignoring data transfer costs, and leaving unused resources running. Want to dive deeper into AWS cost optimization? Leave a comment below with your questions, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech insights. Bonus practical tip: if you're unsure what to pick, start with the simplest option that ships today. Then measure for 7 days, latency, errors, deploy time, and cost.